Blitz. Cast. Matt and Becca.
We are
Why are you making fun of my
recording.
shirt?
I wasn't making fun of your shirt. I'm
Why are
telling
you
you,
wearing
it's
so
getting
many
old.
clothes? Like it's hot. It's warm. It's warm, and you're wearing like sweatshirt.
No time to chat about clothes. What time is it?
1:29.
1:29. So we're gonna chat for about like 20-ish minutes about the.
We're early.
Wait.
We're early because we were gonna like.
We're actually podcasting later.
Last week we podcasted and we were like, we need to wait until after the announcement so we can be more relevant with our timing. So we were gonna wait until the announcement, but we didn't have to. We didn't have to.
You had one job. I try to be so supportive. I try to be like, I'm a serious competitor. I'm going to make it to the CrossFit Games again. We're going to be top tier in the world. That is very important to us. Well, you know what else is also important? Running this affiliate, getting people fit, getting people to the healthiest versions of themselves. Both of those combined together, superpowers. And you know what? You guys over there who are running the competitive side are crushing all of it. Drink resin. Chair flip. I'm trying. I've been trying to stay positive.
You've had a fired up day. We've had some conversations just getting you fired up all day long. And then this happened.
I've been, like, seriously, part of me, you know this, I've been trying to, I even tell you, like, I don't even want to listen to a ton of the CrossFit news. You fill me in if there's anything important, because I do like to listen to it, but I feel like the majority of it is on the negative side, and there are.
Well, it's just like people are
trying to
commentary. Help. It's creating, to some degree. Sometimes it can be that, but I think people are just always looking for storylines, and they're going to pick and choose different things.
Which I have nothing against people saying their piece and in creating more conversations around the space. That's the only way we're gonna grow. I'm down for it. I want people to say what they're doing. But there was a part of me, being the competitor and trying to stay excited about competition, even though the sport itself is working itself through its issues and how to get it to be a really, really organized professional sport. And me being the competitive athlete I want to be, you have to kind of block out a little bit of those external factors and just focus on competing hard, controlling what you can control. But gosh dang it, how many times does a workout got to get leaked before someone can check the URL or double check that the video is on unlisted or private?
Well,
as a person who does YouTube a lot, it's not that hard.
The bigger thing I don't know.
There's no excuses for that. You
at
had
least
one
we're
job.
all. Here's the only the thing about it. At least we all find out together. The bigger issue is when workouts get leaked to certain camps or certain elements of workouts. When you're at semifinals, the games, and some people are finding out before other people. Little secret stuff like that. That's really bad.
That's a major issue.
So this kind of is reminiscent of that in some ways, but.
I'm trying. I love CrossFit. I love the methodology. I love that we are a CrossFit gym that celebrates health and fitness and doing all the crazy things that us CrossFitters do and love to do. And I love to compete. But we gotta get this thing
it's part of
organized.
The other thing too is like the sport. Part of doing the sport is the production of the sport, getting people excited for the announcements. That everyone waiting to the last second to find out what it is, and then like there'll be less people that watch the live announcement now. So you're just driving less eyeballs to the things you want to drive it to when you have those little hiccups or mess ups. And like, sure, that's going to happen sometimes, but at this point, it's happened enough times to where it's frustrating in that it's not helping accomplish the goal that you want. It's not just about the workout coming out early. That really means nothing. It's just the larger kind of professionalism that it makes it seem less professional, or it doesn't create the same drama and stuff you could do when everyone's waiting there for the live announcement. So
it really is important for the sport. And I know people are like, prioritize it. the test, how the sport runs, the fairness of the sport has to be there. That is top tier. That's what it is. But then there's other important factors as far as organization and hyping up the sport and creating those storylines. And this sports are entertainment, right? They're there to showcase people's talents, people's hard work, people's effort, and entertain those that love to watch it and be a part of it. So there is an importance factor in organizing the announcement, making sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed before you upload a video. That's not hard to do. These announcements, like, it's sad to say, I know there's more behind the scenes because I've never seen one, but as someone who creates a lot of content and we're on all these different platforms and everything and sees a little bit of media from Gerard and everything, is like, it's not hard. It just takes organization and conversation and making sure everybody knows their role. And that's where everybody in this world, this CrossFit world, and trying to figure out what the heck is going on is frustrated because a little thing like this shouldn't happen. It's easy to avoid. So, and I don't know if people are just prioritizing the tests, the programming and everything. It's so frustrating because these little things shouldn't happen. And it's happened enough times where it's just laughable. Like if we pour so much time and effort into this, it's laughable.
You get so frustrated because people might not notice it because of all of your reels and your comedy. But when it comes time to compete or even set up the video, like Rebecca prints everything out, reads it. I'm obviously going to read it, but she's very serious about doing things the right way and trying to make sure everything's going to run smoothly. She sets up her own tape lines or different, I'll help with that too, but she's going to double check me even. And we kind of do that as a team just to make sure neither one of us missed anything because it's very important. One, you don't want to get in the middle of a workout and not have a video or something, but it's just doing it the right way. It's approaching it like a professional. Like a professional football player doesn't just roll up to the game on Sunday. They've watched hours of film. They've practiced. They've done so many little things, and there's so many nuances there that people don't see. And that's what's frustrating to you is you take that into even when it doesn't matter, the open doesn't matter to the games athletes or whatever, or people say that all the time. The way you approach it when you go set up and you do that, you don't approach it like, oh, it's just whatever. It's like a chance to get better, even if it's just practicing for quarterfinals and getting your timing of getting everything set up, making sure you have it, and that's kind of timed into your preparation for doing the workout. So I think that's where the frustration lies, is you are very diligent about that, and when you see it kind of haphazardly come out early or something like that, it makes you feel that
It makes me feel stupid because we put so much of our life and time and effort into all of this, into training, and like, look at me. I'm not going to be, as much as I'm going to strive to be the fittest on earth, like I understand like my stature, and it makes it much, much harder, and it could be in the cards one day, but it's going to be very, very hard.
Well,
so I do this for the love of the sport.
Yeah, the reason you do it is
it makes me feel stupid when I pour so much of my life, and we pour so much of our lives, like we're up here on the weekends training hours and hours, putting in the bank, and someone can't double check that the video is on unlisted or private. That makes me feel stupid. It makes me feel like, why? But I love the sport and I believe in it. I'm losing a lot of faith in who's running it, but I love the sport and I believe in it.
No, I think what you believe in, a lot of it, like you just said, it's not necessarily like, sure, we want to go back to the games and do stuff, but it's really about you and the thing you always say is no regrets. This is the No Regrets podcast. It's about your personal development, your growth, being the best you can actually be, and keep chasing that. And that's what ties, I think, you together so well with, like, you relate to so many people at our gym is you're just doing it at different levels, right? But people every day coming in here trying to get better, be their
It
best
is the
self.
overarching
But
picture
that's what,
of all of
right.
this.
But I'm saying that's what's your approach to your training and trying to make the games.
When we talk about like
you're not going to get taller. You're not going to. We can try to get bigger in different ways, but you're just trying to wring as much out of every gift that you
Exactly.
have. You don't want to have any. Oh well, if I just would have done this, or I just would have done that. So
exactly.
I just don't want you to
And-
discount you saying when you're saying like.
No. This is yes. I appreciate
See
that.
what I'm
yes,
saying? You're
yes.
just-
And it's even hard
It's
for
a
me
mindset.
to even
it's a
say
different
that
mindset,
because I
and
never
think-
want to put that in my mind.
Right.
But here's the thing. This is the part that I'm trying to get across is I will do anything and everything I can to wring every little bit of effort and ability out of my body as best I can because this is our sport. This is my sport that I want to do and I love this sport. And we always talk about, especially in this, the comparison game, controlling what you can control is, I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. That's one of the hardest parts about competing just in general is comparing yourself and staying in your own lane and doing what you can do and controlling what you can control. And when you get a result or something happen like this that could have been so easily missed, like it's infuriating, it's frustrating, it's a slap in the face because people are like, maybe the things that I can't control are like they're coming to light. They're gonna affect this. Like this is ridiculous. This is dumb. This is so stupid. And I mean, I could go in circles all day about it, but it goes back to easily avoided, unorganized, and it's affecting the sport. The sport that we pour a lot of time and effort and love into. Makes me feel stupid. But do you have anything else? I am like
people make mistakes.
hot
and
headed today.
I just hope we continue to learn from those as a community and as a group, and the people running things can continue to figure that out. You just have more eyeballs on you more than ever, and you should know that going into this year after the mistakes last year, and just like with all of, like we want all of this media and attention and everything. It's good for everyone, but you have to like realize I have to be very mindful and organized with how I put information out because
I just can't
there's
believe
more
it keeps
eyeballs
happening.
and more people that are like just waiting for you to trip up or looking for that opportunity to jump on you or to jump on anything like that when it happens. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, the NFL has sports writers that are trying to break, right now it's free agency and immediately get into stories on free agency and be the first ones on it. So,
I can't believe it keeps happening.
but it is surprising that it
Is it a
happens.
joke? Is this a joke? Are we all being pranked?
At the end of the day, it's not going to make a huge difference.
It's the principle
I
of
understand
it.
it's the principle. And you're a rule follower, and it's very much about doing things the right way, not just the end result for you. So
We have 7 minutes.
That's the frustration.
Let's talk about the
level.
workout. Workout 24.0. Oh, because we have to go watch the announcement. Oh, let me predict the future. The future 24.3.
Maybe it's all
It's gonna be. Oh, maybe it's all a
Maybe
hoax.
it's a fake
It's
out.
all fake. It's all fake. Maybe we're all just over here
It's fake
upset.
news.
It comes out. They had a backup workout ready to go, and they're gonna be like, "Psych! In your face! We had it ready to go." Oh my God, that would be the funniest prank of all time, especially after I just like poured my heart out just right there. 24.3 leaked is 5 rounds of 10 thrusters and 10 chest-to-bar pull-ups, 95 for the fellas, 65 pounds for the ladies. Oh, there's a 1-minute rest. I didn't even see that in there. I don't like when they do that. 1-minute rest, and then 5 rounds of 7 thrusters, 7 bar muscle-ups with a heavier barbell, 135 for the fellas, 95 for the ladies.
The reason they're doing that is because this is being run in an affiliate. Well, That's what I think the major
Oh,
reason.
so they're gonna like
So
transition.
you have time to move to change out the weights on the barbell. So you don't have to have 2 barbells for every athlete in the gym.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and I mean, there's nothing. I have no. I
It
love.
just gets down to
I
the
love.
seconds.
I
Did you
love.
start a half a second for?
I love. Well, that's it.
Just the open.
All racing, but I love. I don't have any issues with interval based workouts, anyways. I think that's stuff that's been added more recently to the CrossFit Games world, and that's good because it does test your ability to recover and really go fast and recover. But the reason they did that was so we could run it easier.
Gotcha.
So
I just get
good
down.
job. I like that.
Oh, good job. You got a half a point.
The
back.
affiliate. No, that's a good one.
No,
as
I
far
just
as
get
the
down to
workout-
like did you start a half a second before? Did
Oh,
you start
yeah.
a half a second? Like, what was you have to keep track of 2 times, like your first time and
Yeah.
when to start the. Anyways, to be expected.
I mean,
everybody was guessing.
How many people like look at the clock or their judge looks at the clock and it's like, where they finished or did I see that
Yeah.
12:19 or was it 12:20 when they actually
Yeah.
hit the last
That's
burpee?
where I don't like
I
it.
kind of looked up, but were they over the dumbbell?
So this
I
is
mean,
the
I'm sure there's
second
lots
time
of
they've
like
done it, right?
giving a second here or there. That's
This is
gonna
the
happen.
second time they've done a rest transition, right, between workouts. I remember doing it one time.
21.3 that everyone was guessing had rest transitions. 1 minute rest, right? Didn't it? I thought it did.
Well, I'm thinking of a different one. There was
Yeah.
a 2-parter. Oh, no,
it was
it
it
was
was
the bar muscle
burpees
burpees
and the snatches and burpees.
and something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember that one had like at least like a 2 or 3 minute transition. It was
I don't know
bigger
if
than
it was
this.
that long.
It was bigger than this, I think. I could be wrong. But I do remember that one because I had the same thoughts. But, I mean, I'm glad we're squatting. I'm glad to see thrusters at a decent volume, too, because
And weight.
and a weight, because I feel like just coming off of last year, I think everybody's waiting for that ugly fight through the thrusters, a movement that people can do, but people are known to dislike thrusters or feel the pain, which we should feel in the open. I do like giving some points back to just the open in general, as we talked about, like these first 2 workouts, like we're back on our backs. I know if you can backtrack through whatever podcast we've talked, there's been a couple we've talked through, it's just being a little bit frustrated with the programming over the last couple years of just not feeling that CrossFit burn, that lung burn, that lactic acid buildup in your body that's very famous to CrossFit, and you're gonna get it on this one too.
Yeah.
This one's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what the thing I love about this, and it is reminiscent of some like classic CrossFit open workouts, like the thruster, chest to bar.
How do you feel about the
and-
couplet? It's 2 couplets.
I mean, yeah, there's 2 couplets. That kind of limits how many movements were really done during the open. But I think they're really shifting this, and it's hard because every year has changed so much. But I really think they're shifting to the open is purposefully for the general public, and we're going to keep it very, very simple. And it's about the experience for your members and them getting in a little bit of a competition setting. But it's not about, and that's why they expanded the 25%. It's not about being a competitor. And in some ways it is. You're doing a competition, but it's really about keeping it a community event that everyone feels like they can do most of the work at. What do you think about, I mean, I'm sure like the stuff that we finally got some bar work, we got bar muscle ups.
Before we get
Okay,
into
go
the
for it.
skills. I know I'm rambling on. We only have a couple minutes to keep chatting, but I really that chair is scaring me.
Dude, this chair is, I didn't know I've gained
Don't-
weight or something.
Don't lean too far back on that thing. Oh my gosh! Don't do that. You're gonna go over.
It's okay. Go. What were you gonna say?
Big fan of one of my favorite athletes on the male side is Colton Mertens. And it's not just because he's a fellow shorty like me, but I like his demeanor, and I'm very much in agreement with a lot of folks. We're frustrated a little bit with the numbers. I wish they would just come out and say the 25% is a little bit of trying to get a little bit more money. I think by taking more people to quarterfinals. That's what everybody's kind of been settling on. Don't know the real reason for that. But if you're top of the sport and a true competitor, you still hit all of these open workouts as hard as you possibly can. And there really is no pressure on the open. But if you're if you're a true
Dude, I'm sending this chair back.
if you're a true competitor, I totally lost where I was going. You're going to hit these workouts as hard as possible. You're going to make them hurt. You're going to try to do your absolute best. I mean, I want this to be, with this workout, because I know I can do well on it, this will probably be our highest open finish. If we do it right, if we hit it hard.
I think the guy
That's the goal, highest open finish.
The guy who built this chair posted that video on YouTube.
There you go. I agree. Oh my God.
Have I gotten that fat? Am I that big? And this was like a big size person.
Okay, what were you going to ask me about the movements?
What do you, okay, well, I know there's lots of people that are, you're always going to get all those opinions. First of all, I think it's interesting that this is like the first open I think I can ever remember without toes to bar.
Oh, yeah.
So that's interesting. But, you know, you'll have all sides, but I know there's going to be a lot of people upset about no heavy lifting or heavy barbell. They're going to say the thruster barbell isn't heavy enough.
Argument with the 25%. You should have a big enough engine and be fit enough to make it to the quarterfinals. I bet it's going to be heavy now.
Yeah.
It's going to have something heavy in it.
Yeah. I mean, the point I like that I think, and maybe this is kind of where they're shifting the season, is if you look at the CrossFit methodology, the theoretical hierarchy of development or fitness, the base of the pyramid is nutrition, and then the next level up is metabolic conditioning. And I think they're kind of maybe playing the season off like that, as like, that's the most important thing. You have to have that before you move on to weightlifting and gymnastics, it's prioritized in the open that you show that first, not that it's not going to be tested in the quarterfinals.
I love that.
But then they're kind of saying, like, this is the most important. You got to get here first, and then we can work on skill development and gymnastics and weightlifting, a heavier barbell. But the metabolic conditioning is, so in that way, I think it's kind of cool in that maybe that the open will mirror that theoretical hierarchy of development that CrossFit put out. And then after quarterfinals, you're getting to semifinals where you're starting to get to where it's sport and not just the barbells and regular gymnastics stuff.
I really love that. And that actually makes me really happy. You want to know why? Because the hardest part of the sport for us in growing the sport is that it's complicated, right? There's a lot of movements, a lot of standards, a lot of rules and season structure and everything. So it's hard to follow. But if you can like show someone, this is CrossFit, the pyramid.
Yeah.
This is CrossFit. And you can show them, hey, this is where we start. We start living that healthy lifestyle at nutrition.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And then we progress to getting fit with your metabolic conditioning. And then we go into weightlifting and gymnastics. And then at the top tier, this is not for everyone. This is not for everyone. The sport, and that's where you get competitive. People can start to understand why we do the things that we do. And you have a choice to like stay as a general easygoing.
That's a great way to combine or connect the games and the affiliates and keep them connected, but let them go in their own focus on the things they need to focus on.
That's been the biggest issue,
which is being
right?
sport, but keep them connected. We're still part of this pyramid. We're just here. And I think that's, as an affiliate owner, that's hard sometimes, because whether it's like the no rep deadlifts that came out or just in general, people seeing stuff that elites are doing and thinking that that's healthy, and instead of going back and reemphasizing the importance of mechanics, consistency, intensity, building the base of that pyramid before we're worried about sport. And we want some of that sport because that's what makes it motivation.
That teaches everyone what
but
needs
it's like,
to be done.
it's learning some balance there, because I think sometimes at the affiliate level, it's gotten unbalanced of everyone wants to be a competitor. So we have like 87 pieces of gear on, but I can't get to a full depth air squat, but I have knee sleeves, a belt, weightlifting shoes, and I'm lifting too heavy. but I can't bend over and touch my toes hardly, or something like that. In that, it's a way to maybe connect them, and we kind of see that connection through the season, and helps us communicate that too, of like, yes, this is the top of our sport, but hey, we can have some days where we kind of play around with that in the gym, but we need to be focused on these
major, the base,
the foundational level.
Yeah.
So,
That's actually what I love. It creates this little easy to read.
so there you go,
guideline.
CrossFit. Even if that wasn't your plan, take it and run with it and own it. And that's free consultation. We should be consultants.
At least this podcast came all the way around to like a more positive ending, because I was ready to just explode earlier. But that really does make me so happy, because there's always been this debate of like, should the games be around? Should it not be around? How do we combine the two and make it to where people understand like which side, how they can work together? Look at the pyramid.
Yeah. Well, that's something
That's an easy map. It's structure. It's what people can read and understand.
And it ties into, this is one of the things I'm most proud of about Bolt. I don't give myself or boost us very often, but we've had multiple games athletes come from our gym, individuals, and we have a great community of everyday athlete. And it just kind of goes back to the Greg Glassman quote of, the needs of an Olympian and my grandmother vary by degree, not kind. They need a lot of the same things. Obviously, you can get to the top end of sport and they're doing very specialized stuff, but we need to squat, we need to hinge, we need to heavy carry, we need to push, we need to pull, all of those things. And like, that's the beauty of CrossFit to me, or what I love about Bolt, is that we've created a space to where we can have these people charging for the sport side of that and the everyday people, but we're all doing CrossFit, we're all doing the same thing in a lot of ways, and keeping that, people seeing the value in each other too in that. Like, whether it be our athletes that see the value of the people coming in here working hard every day, that are just getting their hour in, but they have all of these other things they're focused on, and then our people that know, they see you in here all the time and all the hard work and effort you're putting in, and like become your biggest fans. So that's cool. Let's all strive to do that, CrossFit community. And that's a constant battle. That's hard.
And just double check the YouTube link. I do it myself. If there's not a video that's not ready to go out, it doesn't go out. I double check it. It scares me so much that I'm like, this video is not ready. I'm not going to post it. And I have a fraction of the followers that CrossFit has. Who's running this, cats? Blitz could do a better job.
Maybe
all right, we're gonna
cats,
wrap
not
it up.
dogs.
What, they're too friendly?
Dogs rule.
Dogs are the best. We out. Time to go watch the announcement and be
Yeah, and they took,
surprised.
they brought in Jocko to do the announcement, and now he's just has to,
Oh, he's doing the announcement?
he's doing the
I didn't even know that.
announcement. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go watch it.
Maybe it's a trick. We'll see.
Yeah, let's hope it's a trick. Peace out.